Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Okay, y'all ready to get this program started? Y'all can say it better, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so we need everyone to grab a seat or sit on the blanket. We're going to kind of gather over here. And we're going to invite Sister Yabade. Everyone should have your papers. We're going to do a small blessing of the land. If you don't have a paper, share with your neighbor. We're going to bless the land here at this community garden. Okay, so we're going to do a blessing of the land, then the introduction, and then we're going to do our film and a brief discussion on food. Y'all ready to talk about food? Are y'all ready to eat?
Yes.
Are y'all awake?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to do a big thank you. There's a lot of organizations that came together to make this event happen. This is a tulip event. This is the very first tulip garden. We want to thank Mr. George Paris for letting us use his land here. Woo! We want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Tony Haygood for helping us get our water in the city. Woo! We want to give a big thanks to the Park Service for hiring me and for supporting us. We want to thank Dr. Muja Shakir and Black Belt Deliberative Dialogue Group for hosting this forum tonight. Woo! And we want to give a big thank you to Dr. Lucinia Dunn and the TMCCF Tuskegee Macon County Community Foundation for supporting us. Mr. Guy Trammell and Safe Haven and all the kids out here. And also Jocelyn Zanza and Daniel Neal from Auburn Studios for partnering with us to make this event happen. And Mr. Swanson from Channel 181. And now I'm done thanking people. Oh, and Michelle, y'all, that's my personal assistant right there, and she makes so much happen. Them emails come from her, y'all. All right, and everybody else, we love you. So let's get into this blessing ceremony. So let's ask for some quiet, and you can speak it for us. But.
Okay, as Lindsay just said, we are going to invoke the power and the presence of the Most High into this venture. If you're not standing near someone who has a copy of the litany, please go and find somebody who has a piece of paper in their hands. And as you can see, your response, your communal response is, may this garden be a blessing. Everybody ready? So before we do that, let's everybody just take a deep breath and collect ourselves so that we are on one accord. Today, we dedicate and celebrate this new creation. Let us praise the sacred mystery of creation and the source of the sun and the rain, which call forth green things from the ground. May this garden be a blessing. Let us honor the hands that plant, water, weed, hoe, and harvest in this place. May this garden be a blessing. May the bounty of this place remind us of our connections to all of life and all of humanity around the globe and in our own communities. May this garden be a blessing. May we remember those who are hungry or malnourished, and in our gratitude, let us remember the ability and the resources that we have to make a difference. May this garden be a blessing. Let us greet the squirrels, birds, and other critters who live around here. And let us pray that they might find enough food outside the bounds of our garden to be satisfied. May this garden be a blessing. And now let us dedicate ourselves to the joyful task ahead, working in the garden, harvesting and savoring its yield, and sharing it with one another. May this garden be a blessing. Ashe, amen, aho. All right.
Okay, guys, so really quickly before we start the dialogue, I just want to take like 30 seconds, a moment of silence. And may you all just say your own silent prayer and blessing for this land. So let's just have a moment of silence, bow our heads, and really just say your own blessing and give thanks for this opportunity that we have together. So we can start that now. I think that's 30 seconds. I'm not sure. Was it 30 seconds? Yeah, you found it. Oh, it's close? Okay. So we're going to get started with this film dialogue. In about 2 minutes. So we're going to play one more song, but don't leave. In 2 minutes, we're going to start the film and begin the discussion. And I'm going to invite Dr. Shakir and Black Belt up here, and they're going to facilitate us through this discussion.
Dialogue portion of this program tonight. My name is Jaslyn Fuller. I'm a senior at Tuskegee University, and I'm the president of Black Belt Deliberative Dialogue Group. And the Black Belt Deliberative Dialogue Group is a campus and community-based group where we have members who are community members, members who are students, and members who are faculty staff of Tuskegee University. And what we do is we hold dialogues. We like to hold conversations about sensitive topics in the community and things such as this, right, what we're doing, coming together, bring everybody together to discuss on a subject that's really close to all of us in the community and needs to be talked about. So also tonight we're going to watch a short film that was produced by, and I'll let you all introduce yourselves in the film. Daniel and Jocelyn, right?
Hello. I'm Daniel Neal, and this is Jocelyn Zanzo. We're co-directors of a studio called the Mobile Studio. We've been traveling in rural communities in Alabama for about 6 years, and our home base is Auburn, and then I'm also at Troy University in Montgomery. So several years ago we looked at schoolyards in rural communities, and several here in Macon County, and we realized there were some gaps in how land was used, publicly held land was used. So Jocelyn's students very ably developed some drawings for school gardens, and we proposed some of those drawings in the studios at Auburn in the landscape architecture program. And that led us to really try to understand what was going on in the food system here in Macon County. And so it was a year and a half ago we embarked on a study with rural sociology and ag economics at Auburn to try to really figure out what was happening within the food security system here in Macon County. We were fortunate to partner with everyone's favorite person, Guy Trammell, and Guy pointed us in the direction of the Macon County Food Pantry right over on Daly Street behind the Safe Haven. And so that led us to start to develop ideas for a grant opportunity that came through the federal government called Local Foods, Local Places. We applied for that grant. It's a multi-agency grant through the EPA, USDA, Department of Energy, Department of Transportation, and it's to strengthen food systems and to strengthen entrepreneurial opportunities and revitalization of downtown areas. We applied for that grant, and we were one of the 26 communities in America chosen. We wrote that grant with partners, Tony Haygood here in Tuskegee, and several others. And so we're now in the process of going through these meeting sessions with the federal government to try to decide how to best do this.
They said they need
pleasure to share this
foil
with you tonight, and really treat
Let me make sure that's just it. I think that's just it. Let me make sure.
Many of our friends, colleagues here in the film, and it was really our interest to weave in multiple voices into this film and to not just narrate like we're doing right now, but to really let all of the different voices from the children that you'll see come through. So I'm
mostly excited to have a conversation after and your response about both the initiative and the project and where we can go together as we look at...
They're going to improvise. They said they're going to improvise. They found some boxes. They're going to improvise.
As we look at
they got garbage bags
networks between the rural farms in Macon County and
she said that she can improvise.
The downtown market.
So we can see
and bring
some
some
she said we can ball on a budget.
Wonderful energy to the future of what we can do together. So I think we'll turn it back over and have some conversation after.
Oh no!
Thank you so much.
In my car too. I grabbed some for Saturday for the water for the
So in Black Belt Deliberative Dialogue Group, what we do before we have our discussion, we share agreements, and agreements are just some friendly rules that we'd like to let everybody know about so we can have a healthy discussion tonight. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Shakir, who is the advisor of the Black Belt Deliberative Dialogue Group.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here. I have to give thanks to, first of all, the Most High. Secondly, to Lindsay Lunsford for all of her very, very hard work.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming.
So as Jasmine said, I'm going to just talk just a little bit about the agreements that we always introduce to every audience before we open up for a dialogue. We know that we have a lot of really, really powerful people out here with a lot of good ideas, very opinionated folks, and oftentimes we don't get enough opportunities to really talk. So it's important that we have some agreements so that we don't, talk too long, and that we allow each person that wants to speak to have an opportunity to speak. So that would be agreement number one, that we be mindful of how much time we're taking when we have the mic, okay? Agreement number two, basically, I'm not anticipating that we're going to have a lot of controversy. Sometimes we have had discussions where there's a lot of controversy, and we encourage people to respect each other's ideas and to stay open to diverse opinions about things. One of the things that we always say is that a people, a community that can't talk together cannot build together. We can't organize together, we can't build if we can't learn how to have challenging and difficult conversations. So it's natural. It's natural to not agree, but working through the disagreements is what's important. The other thing is that we always look for action items after we have a dialogue. Many of us say that, we do too much talking. That's all we do is just talk, right? But a lot of times the kind of talking that we're doing is not insight oriented. So we want to have a dialogue where we genuinely listen to the different perspectives. And when we say listen, not just with your ears, but listen with your heart and try to understand the perspective of the person that may have a different viewpoint than you. I think that that's satisfactory. As you notice, we are cross-generational, and so I think that that deserves an agreement that we allow if the children, and we know that Guy has done a wonderful job with the Safe Haven youth, and that they know a lot. They have already had some experiences with gardens, and so they sometimes can be our teachers, those of us that don't have experience with gardening. And so we share the mic with the young people, and we want to create a safe space for everybody that's here, but especially for them. Sometimes as elders and as adults, we can take every moment that we have to teach, right? Well, this is not the arena for teaching per se. We just want to allow people to have their moment with the mic, okay? And then we just move it on. So I think that will do. I also just want to say one other thing. Jasmine mentioned that we are a campus community partnership, and I also serve as the professor of occupational therapy. And so if you see some of these young people wearing scrubs, I gave them a class assignment to get involved with TULIP because I think it's important. And that's one of the ways that I make sure that we create this campus partnership with the community campus partnership. So I've got about 7 students out here that have been working with Lindsay, performing different roles and different tasks. And so I encourage all other members of the Tuskegee University family to do likewise. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I guess we'll start the film now. Yeah.
You have to have like love in it, no matter what you're gonna do. It like sustainability is love is inherently sustainable, and so it's like in order to have something sustainable, there has to be like a love for a passion.
Okay, yeah. Record the drone. You see it right there?
Just kind of gotta. Ooh, I wish I could do that.
Just back up, kid. Don't distract it.
Can I take it off?
You can do two more. Screw it off. To the bottom. Give me that.
The generator went off. Go check the generator. Somebody needs to check it.
Yeah, that's theirs right there. Yeah. Might be out of gas. I was asking him earlier. I forgot to ask him earlier how long it was gonna last. That's the first thing I thought about. So I got some extra gas that would be needed. I'm gonna go tell him.
What do you see now?
I got crowd shots. Here you go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, make sure you keep them in there.
Okay.
And she wants to see the app. Who has the app?
That's me.
Really? Oh. Hey. Okay. Bring your mom and your mom, huh?
Bringing it down. How far you go up?
400.
Yeah, we over here. Did you build that or did you buy it like this? You built it? No, we bought it.
I bought it.
I know a guy that could build it.
That's us. Oh, that's a drone. That's government. That's so cool.
You can't get one better unless you go to the government.
And there's malfunction.
You heard about that? I know, right? Oh, yeah.
Fall out of town on people. I can imagine that. In the city, too.
What's our time left?
We've been in the air for 4 minutes. We got 8 minutes. 8 more minutes. Battery power. Yeah, it's travel better.
Oh, excuse me.
That is so cool. It's a hover.
What else they can do? Keep right there. Keep right there.
Wow. No matter what you're going to do. It's like sustainability is inherent. Love is
Uncle, I'm going to stop the recording now.
captured the imagination.
You stupid.
Stop recording.
America, but internationally as well. But the South, which has like some of the most fertile land in America, tends to be one of the most poorest areas of America, which is crazy because they actually have all the natural resources that we really need. So to me, that was just kind of interesting to see. Like, I mean, I'm an agricultural business major, so when I saw it, I started thinking about like the balances of power, who really owns the land, what's really going on with it, that's causing the actual people who live on that land to not actually be reaping the benefits of the land. So.
Are there any other responses to the short film?
I was distracted, but the part that I caught that I really appreciated was that it was sort of like a montage of cultural activities as well that were centered around the agriculture. I like the way they infused the quilts, which is a very important cultural asset of the South and Alabama in particular. And I just noticed the man's hands. I think it was a man's hands when he was peeling the peas, well, shelling the peas. Yeah. You know, and then the film definitely encourages us to get involved and to infuse what we have with increased energy and ideas, the farmers market and other such places that were mentioned.
So are there any other quick responses? Do you all want to respond? No? Okay. So basically what I got out the film was that Macon County is food insecure, and correct me if I'm wrong, Macon County is 35% food insecure. So the one thing I know that was really stressed in the film was that Macon County is a food insecure community, and I want to make sure that everybody understand what that actually means. Can you share with us a little bit again and let us know what a food insecure community is, so that we can actually have a dialogue about that as well?
Well, food security or food insecurity is probably one of the most sensitive topics we could really talk about together. How we feed each other, how we feed our children, when we can and we can't make all of the connections meet. And it has many dimensions. It has to do with accessibility, mobility, proximity of markets, whether there's fresh food at the near market, whether we have the money to buy the gasoline to get to the market that has the food, that is the fresh food we'd love to be feeding our children, whether we have the knowledge to take the fresh food from the garden to the kitchen to cook the meal, whether we have the dollars to turn on the gas to cook the fresh food. And what we learned in the dialogue is all of those things are part of the complexity of food security, food insecurity. And the reason we did the movable feast was because you can't just talk about this in a survey. It's not about objective data. It's really about learning where are the working parts of the network and where are the gaps in the system. And how can we come together to talk about it and build enough trust that we can really have those difficult conversations. We found that sharing a meal is a real powerful way, but food security entails all of those issues, both at the economic and distributed level, the growing and farmer networks, the markets and places where we can access fresh food, and whether we are able to make a meal with that all the way around the year.
So now that we understand what a food insecure community is, I would like to ask the first question. Let me get my notebook. So, how do you all think how do you all think Tuskegee being a food insecure community actually impacts the community? How does it impact the community members? How does it impact the local households? How does it impact you individually? Answer? Okay.
Well, it impacts the community because food is essential to our lives, of course, and having access to good food is important. And I think that too often we don't understand that that's what it is in a food insecure community. And so that's it.
And over here. Any more comments? Anybody want to answer the question? You want to go get it? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you are what you eat. So you are what you eat. So if what you eat is not necessarily healthy or better for you, then you're literally eating yourself into a doctor's office. And if you're in an area like Tuskegee where there aren't many medical centers for you, then you're kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? You're eating yourself into a situation that you really can't get out of.
You wanted to answer the question? Anyone else want to share? Okay, so I'll move on to the next question. So the second question is, how does the community garden, what do you want to see? Oh, did you want to answer the question? I'm sorry, I can't really see. Answer the first question.
I wanted to answer the first question. For me, being a 35%, it causes me to have to work extra hard to have quality food. I have to plan far in advance, and it causes me sometimes to eat things I don't want to eat because it's not easily accessible. But with more knowledge, and to let other people know that this community garden is here, it's gonna make people more aware, and then we can start asking this community to bring, like when I say the community, like our stores and our markets, to bring in what we want. Because I'm originally not from here, I'm from another state, and in the areas where the people stand together, those producers, those grocers, they don't have so much junky stuff, you know what I'm saying, leftovers, because the community won't stand for it. But if the community comes together, then the grocery stores and the people that bring things here, they have to bring quality things here. And plus, we get the education about how to grow it with this tulip.
Thank you. The next question I would want to ask is, what would you like to see in the community garden? A lot of the kids, okay. So we'll go to you, and you, okay? Remember the order. Stand up and say your name.
My name is Ashanti Taylor. I would like to see in the garden fruits and vegetables.
Okay. So you was next. Say your name.
My name is Frank Quavius Newton. Fruit, vegetables, watermelon.
Alright, quiet down. No, it's okay, we gotta get everybody to go. Okay. Hold on.
Okay, we want to continue the dialogue, but we also want to start feeding people. So we want to start, we're going to start with our elders. So if you consider yourself an elder, could you please come and start the line over here where the plates are? And after that group of people are taken care of, then we'll get some of the younger people, okay? So we're going to continue with the dialogue. Yeah, you're going to say something about...
Okay, everyone, so we're going to let this group first group go and eat, and then when they come back, we'll do this middle section, and then when you guys come back, we'll do this last section, and we'll eat, and then we'll start back our dialogue after we get some food in our bellies. Sound good? Clap once if you hear my voice. Clap twice if you hear my voice. Clap 3 times if you like healthy food. Clap 4 times. I just want to hear y'all clap, I'm sorry.
Where'd she go?
Okay, y'all, we have a word from the chef. She's going to tell us what we have to eat tonight. So, 1 second.
Hello, everybody. My name is Pamela Banks. I'm so blessed to be here to help you guys out as much as I could.
Nope.
First, we got turkey burgers, grilled. Then we got sauteed spinach. We also have spinach for your salads as well.
I got it here.
We have a soup. I had to put together a soup. It has a little bit of turkey, ground turkey in it. Also has kidney beans, black beans, tomatoes, and a bunch of seasoning. We just had to quick pick something together for you guys, and I really appreciate y'all having me out here.
Thank you.
So we're gonna break to eat and then continue the dialogue.
Where the food at?